online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Uh-oh.
It's a party, it's a party. All right, now Cortez. All right, we need to turn down the music before Cortez gets out of hand here. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the after show for MTV's Faking It. We are so excited to be here. If you can't tell, it is season 2B.
Season 2 in this bitch?
Yeah, that's right. It only seems like yesterday that Cortez and I started this journey together, and here we are. This, however, 71 weeks later. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's our picture right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's just a little selfie that we took last season.
Wow.
Anyway, we have Sam here joining us
Sam.
tonight, filling in for Kylie and Roya, who are not here.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. I'm Sterling Cates, and this is Cortez G. West.
What's up? Welcome back. I'm happy to see you guys, man. I love your tweets. I was thinking about doing a single for Squirk.
Yeah, we should. We should work on that before, like,
and a video.
Maybe before the, I don't know.
We're gonna call it
finale or
Todrick.
something. Yeah. No, we are not going to do that. Okay. Anyway, we want to know what you guys thought of tonight's episode. So be tweeting us. I'm at Sterling Cates. What's yours, Sam?
And Sam D43.
And I am Cortez G. West.
And of course, all of us at AfterBuzz TV. But let's do a hashtag, ABTV Faking It, and we'll be pulling that up and listening to what you guys have to say. We don't have the live chat. I didn't have my laptop. Sorry about that. But we miss you guys so much and so happy to be here. So without further ado, shall we get into it?
Let's get into it.
Yeah. All right. So this episode is called Stripped, hence Cortez taking all of his clothes off.
I was about to get...
It's getting hot in here. When you suggested that song earlier, I thought it was just because it really is like hot as balls in here. I was
It
like,
is hot.
It
is really hot
But then
in
when
here.
I was listening to the lyrics, I was like, oh yeah, this episode's called Stripped, and we're taking our clothes off. And Shane gets completely naked. So that works. Okay, so we have a new principal in town at a Hester High, taking over for Penelope.
Yes.
He's all right.
Penelope Beaver. It's Bevier
It's
or whatever
Bevier.
she said. Yeah. So Principal Turner's in town, and it's all because of that huge drug bust at the end of last season with Karma's parents, and they really want to crack down on, you know, some of the leniencies that happen at Hester High.
I just don't like the speech that he jumped into. He was like, I'm not a motivational teacher. I'm not going to push you to get, excellence grade, be excellent in school. I'm here to stop drugs and violence.
He's just cracking down. Yeah.
Well, he's not supposed to be likable. I don't think. He's making it pretty clear. I think over time we might start to like him, perhaps. But he's a little rougher on the edges.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting because Wendy, Lauren's little sidekick in the beginning, was saying, you need to be more motivational, blah, blah, blah. So to see Principal Turner automatically say that from the very beginning, you know that him and Lauren are going to be, like, teamed up.
Yeah, it almost creeped me out a little bit at the beginning. I was like, is this gonna turn into something weird? I really hope not.
I don't know.
But she has, like, she kind of, now we know, likes older men. She didn't even know she knew it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now we know that Lauren won the student body president. Well, she's not.
Class president.
She's a sophomore class president. It's still so crazy to me that they're like sophomores.
Yeah, it's so not a big deal to be the sophomore class.
I think because we've met them before too, and we know that they're actually, who they are is kind of like, you're high school? You playing high school? Because like today when I was watching Bailey, I was like, this girl is married. What
Yeah, she is married. And you pointed out they did change her last name.
They changed her last name.
on the
DeLong?
credits.
Is it DeLong or DeYoung?
DeYoung, yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. Well,
Nice.
all right. So new principal in town. So there's different regulations. So they have to have those like plastic see-through backpacks.
You remember those?
And there's the
Those were cool.
But those were really cool, like
What?
back in the day. Well, Cortez, I don't know what you were carrying to school.
I graduated in 2004. When did y'all graduate?
2009.
6.
2009? Who said that?
Me.
Oh.
I was in this room, and you said 2000. You like looked.
6?
6.
You like looked out the window like someone else said
Who said
that.
that? Okay. But they were
yeah,
cool.
but those were kind of like, they didn't really look like that, but they were like the jelly backpacks.
Yeah, jelly.
Like the jelly shoes?
Yeah, like the jelly
Like the jelly
shoes.
sandals?
And
that
like,
they try to
had
bring back?
pencil pouches and stuff that were all the same kind.
Well, the only thing I could think that would be terrible to put in there, that most people would be tampons.
Yeah. That would be a little awkward, for sure.
And that's really
Wrong
not-
show.
Yeah, well, that's
Awkward. Awkward.
But they also, so they have the see-through backpacks. They don't have doors on their lockers. It's just like all open, which doesn't make any sense. And then they have the, the metal detectors and the heavy security at the front. And
That went straight back to what's that movie with Lean on Me? Have you
Yeah.
seen that movie? I
Yeah.
was like, wait.
yeah, so all of these like really strict regulations, which Hester High is like not about that life at all. Like it's all about that like free spirit
Free
lifestyle.
spirit, yeah. Script.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously Shane, of course, wants to, start this whole protest about, everything that's happening. But before he's able to do that, Lauren does team up with the new principal, Turner, and says, well, let me try to control this before it gets out of hand and there's protest. So she creates this like verified system where you can get, if you like sign the code of conduct, you give them your fingerprint, and you what else was it? You signed the code of conduct, give them the fingerprint.
Terms and agreement.
I wrote it
and then
down.
you step your finger.
Oh, and you agree to do random drug testing.
And
random drug testing.
And so like all of these things, if you do that, then you'll get like your locker back, and you can get a parking spot, and you can use a normal book
and
bag.
not have to go through security.
Yeah, you can just do your little fingerprint. Or
like
whatever.
the TSA thing at the airport.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like TSA. There you go. And but Shane's like, this is not happening. We all trust each other. Why would we do this?
No, I wanted to talk about that moment in the car with.
Okay, we're gonna get to that.
Oh, okay. I was like, when we okay. Good.
We're just talking about the new principal.
Oh,
the new
okay. Because I
principal
was
in town.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
But yeah, so we'll get there in 1 second. So Shane does they stripped us of our rights, so we're gonna strip, and that was like basically the whole that's the whole storyline. So there's just like it's just really strict and now. And,
in the
and now they're naked
cafeteria.
in the thing. Yeah.
I'm caught up now. Sorry, guys. I'm
so
sleepy.
let's get back to what Cortez wants to
Sorry.
talk about, because this is his world and we're just living in it. So let's get back to that. So we opened this episode with Liam and Karma getting a little frisky, a little sexy time in the car. So since you want to talk about so badly, what were your thoughts, Cortez, on that?
Not that part.
What car part?
The next part.
What car part?
That part.
Oh, in the thing. Okay, well, let's get there then.
Yeah.
So Liam says, he slips and says, I love you. And that's the last thing someone who only wants to have a friends with benefits relationship wants to hear.
Right.
But I think I was kind of shocked to see that coming from a girl. Karma actually saying like, hold up.
Well, you have to
Don't tell
remember
me.
that he just slept with her best friend.
I know, but why are you sleeping with him then? If that's the case, don't sleep with him.
She needs some time.
Yeah, I think she's definitely not over it, but she still wants that, still wants that something from
She
her.
wants to have a little bit of control.
But
Yeah.
I can't get past the fact that it's broad daylight. They're on the side of the street and they're about to get it on in the car.
Yeah, well,
Those kids get it on everywhere, I swear. Like, really. I binge watched this show all like this summer, and I mean, I'm like, wow, these kids have sex everywhere. It's
they
crazy.
really do. So, I mean, like under art structures and like,
In the sand
tents
dunes,
and
I
sand
wish that was
sand.
my high school. Pretty cool.
That's funny.
In the playground, in the sandbox.
On the topic of friends with benefits, though, what do you guys think about those types of relationships? Do you think they work? I feel like if you ever keep it that way, like you can never just be friends with someone you like or hooking up with, or you say it's one way, but one person or both people are bound to feel some type of way about
I
it,
agree. I believe in every relationship that there's always one person that loves or cares about the other person more than the other person cares about.
In
them.
every relationship?
Yeah, so we both love each other, but one of us love and care about each other more
Who do
than the
you
other
think
person.
it is?
You see what I'm
Dude,
saying?
you think it is Cortez? I think it's me.
These two.
Yeah, but I think for me, I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot be able to have sex with someone and then like feel like that's just it. I can't.
Yeah.
Because it's too much emotion that I'm putting into it.
Yeah, and also it just really depends on like what the history is, like who the person is.
Well, Sam, you're not gonna leave me over here by myself. You're gonna answer this question.
I think that it's a supernatural thing for a girl to think that it's gonna work like that.
I think that's just.
Why is that?
Well, I think it's like
spiders.
It's kind of like the stereotype in a way that girls always like have stronger feelings than they say, but also. You know, especially when it's intimate like that.
Exactly, and then the girl will always be like, "Well, you know, no, it's fine. Like we can just do. I can
I
act
don't
like
care.
a guy. Like I don't care." And then you do, and then it turned into this whole explosion. But thankfully, Liam actually does have very strong feelings for Karma, so it's not.
What you just said is really interesting about it. You know, they say that they're fine, blah, blah, but really they're not. And I think that's so true, especially in this episode with Karma, because it's obviously not fine.
It's not.
And there's going to be this big explosion, and it's just a matter of when that's going to be in this season. So that takes us to Liam and Karma pick up Amy for school, which is one of the most awkward car rides ever.
It was very awkward.
Yeah.
And when I tell you Karma was throwing some jabs.
She was real salty.
She was
That
throwing
is for sure.
daggers.
Yeah.
She was throwing really hard too.
Yeah, she was like, oh, Amy thanked Liam for picking her up, and she was like, yeah, this way I can keep my eye on you too. And she said, what else was it that she said? She was like, oh, we're 16, we're not virgins anymore, thanks to this guy.
Oh.
I was like, oh God, this is awkward. I'm not even in the car, and I feel very uncomfortable.
And she cut Amy with a knife when she said the necklaces were childish or something like that.
Oh yeah.
The necklace they've had since I don't know when.
Yeah. So obviously everyone's feeling a little awkward.
Yeah.
And she's not over it. And I mean, it's been 2 weeks since we've in the storyline. It's only been 2 weeks, so I feel like that's
it's been 8-9 months, girl. What are you saying?
Yeah.
But in the show.
Yeah, in the show. It's been a long time. To us, it feels like forever, so she should be over it by now.
Exactly.
But in the show, not so much. But in that car ride, we also, Reagan is brought up again, and we learned that her and Amy are still a thing. They went camping together.
They just had sex like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. So it's still happening. So I guess that's so weird to think about that, because it does feel so long.
It really does. It's weird.
Yeah. And in the morning, we learn that when Lauren's at home, that it's been 2 weeks since she broke up with Theo. So that's kind of placing us where we are in their lives right now. So her and Theo are over. She is just not about it. She's still really upset about it.
She's an angry woman.
Yeah. I don't know. And then we have Shane, who we saw at the end of season 2A that he outed Duke, his MMA fighter boyfriend, through TMZ anonymously, and Duke owned up to it. He was like, "Yes, this is true," blah blah blah, but he's still really bitter about who did it. He doesn't know who did it, but he says, you know, he obviously feels very aggressively about it.
Again, another disaster waiting to happen. They always have to plant those, right at the beginning, just so you can watch it boil and explode.
Right. I don't know about this nickname that Shane calls
Dookie.
Dookie. First thing I thought about was Dookie. So
actual Dookie Cortez. I'm glad that we're getting your inside opinions right now. That's so funny. But you can see in that scene where Duke is like, "Oh, you always know how to calm me down. Like, you make me act so shrimpy," which is an interesting word to use.
That was an interesting one to throw in. But it's kind of heartbreaking because he did, in a way, Duke need to be brought out of the closet. It seems like he's a lot more at peace with himself now. But what's really sad is that it's Shane, who's the guy he thinks that he really loves, that did it.
I know. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts, because he's going to find out that it was Shane. It's just a matter of if he'll take it. Okay, well, I guess I'm better off because you did, or
the fact that
I hate you,
right? Because he kept it from
because you lied to me.
Well, yeah, and what else is he going to do again if Shane doesn't get his way with something? You know,
exactly.
And that's basically why he did it.
But you can see that Shane feels really, really guilty, and Duke knows he's hiding something, but it's not what he thinks.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really interesting. Let's see what was next here. Oh, and Liam is working at Squirkle. Squirk and Hardly Squirkin.
Yes.
Right.
He's interning there. And that's when we meet Zeta. New character. She's also interning there because she wrecked her dad's Tesla.
Which I'm trying to figure out where she even came in. Like, why would they even write her in? Like, I'm just trying
Love
to figure
interest.
out.
Yeah.
Between her and Liam?
I think so, yeah. I mean,
That makes sense. She looks like Anne Hathaway to me. She looks like Princess Diaries Anne Hathaway to me.
Yeah, like, honestly, a prettier, like, smaller kind of version. Not that Anne Hathaway is not petite, but, you know, I think this girl's, like, a little shorter. She was on the Carrie Diaries, which
is like Princess Diaries. Right?
Yeah.
Which Anne Hathaway is in.
Cortez
does not know what we're talking about.
Like, no,
He's like,
all these
okay,
diaries.
I'm tuning out right now. But so Liam ends up opening up to her about everything and tells the story about Karma and how he cheated on Karma, blah, blah, blah. And she thinks that he's crazy for even trying to pursue it.
You know who Zeta reminds me of? The girl that Liam... Did we find out that was his sister?
At the school, yeah.
She reminds me of her. So
Of
I'm
who?
like, the girl at the school that was there.
Oh, I was talking about the girl that was at the school who like ran all
Brandy?
the
Is it Brandy,
who did
guys?
all the protests and stuff.
Is it Brandy? You remember the episode, guys, when Karma was performing in the lunchroom or cafeteria somewhere, playing a guitar, performing for the first time, and they were all standing
that girl.
there. I think her name is Brandy.
Yeah.
Zeta reminds me of Brandy.
I thought it was her at first when she
Yeah.
came on the screen, and I was like, oh, it's a different person.
But they kind of have that same character, though. So I don't. That's why I was kind of confused on, like, what is the purpose of Zeta?
Yeah.
I get maybe a love interest, and maybe that's the love interest to throw off Liam with Karma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I kind of just thought of this. I mean, Faking It really likes to switch things up and kind of throw things your way you don't expect.
Right.
Like perhaps she's a love interest for Amy or something, you know, like
Right, maybe
for
she's
somebody else.
yeah.
Like she could be a lesbian too.
Right.
We don't know. Or bi-curious.
Well,
and
yeah,
who
we'll
knows?
definitely
Yeah.
learn more about her. But I could see her trying to like persuade Liam to not pursue Karma anymore, so that she can like.
Oh yeah, she
take over that.
barely knew, and she was just like, "No, it's over."
Yeah, because she did brought up that he's rich.
Yeah,
She seems like a gold digger.
she
Yeah.
might be about that life.
Yeah.
Very good.
And he said here, bro.
I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but
She
she's
Yeah,
maybe.
well, she probably is. But so that in that same meeting, we see Liam's dad
That's our first
flirting
time,
with
right?
Zeta.
That's our first time
That was the
seeing her.
second time we saw her.
No, second time we saw his father.
His father.
First time we saw his father.
Yeah, except from when
Really?
at the last season.
Yeah, I think second time we saw him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, well, of course, it's the first time we've seen him in season 2B because this is the first episode. But he's like leaning over Zeta's desk and flirting with her, and he's like super grimy and just like, I don't know.
And
It
she
made me
likes
feel
it.
weird.
She likes it. You little freak.
Yeah, she was like into it. She was like, he's kind of hot, and that's not what Liam
Yeah.
wanted to hear. That's
I
for
think
sure.
that she is just like going to cause disaster. She's going to have she's a very like good actress. She's working a lot.
Right.
This isn't a one episode thing.
Yeah,
so
she's coming to shake things up.
She definitely is.
Well, we love that.
I love it. Oh, good shaking up.
Yeah, shake your wanna shake your body, right? shake. Okay, so and then, but his dad was there to tell him that he's heard he's been doing a lot of great stuff, but then he's late, so it just is like, I'm gonna stomp.
And he's like,
on
I
this
had
moment.
school.
Yeah, he's like, all right, well, I guess nothing I can do is right. So then we have Felix, who is also new, who we first see when he comes into Karma's room as she's packing up her things, and Amy walks in and says, what are you doing? Like, you love things. What are you doing with these things? And she says that, it's just a little spring cleaning. Karma has definitely been a little off
Yeah.
this episode.
Who?
Karma, just as far
Yeah.
as like being short with Amy, not really telling her what's up, blah, blah. And you can see that, although at this point we didn't know what it was exactly.
And Amy goes off though when Felix walks in the room. Like, who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah,
here?
who are you? Why are you here in the first place? Like, I don't get
Yeah.
it.
Amy took it way too far with that.
You know what
guy.
I thought though? I thought that she was going to say, I would never thought about what we did find out why Felix is there, but I thought Felix was her new best friend.
Yeah.
And she didn't know how to tell.
Or she was just trying to replace Amy because she's not actually
Right.
over what's
So
happening.
that's
I
where my
could see
mind
that.
was going.
But
Yeah.
that's what she says it is. She says it's her new gay best friend, her new GBF, and like they're gonna hang out, and Amy needs to leave, and like pushes her out.
That
So
acronym. Lord, you just blew my mind. GBF.
Yeah.
Should we give Cortez a moment to catch up with us?
Welcome to the past 2 years.
Yeah. So, so Amy's like, why is like she hanging out with this new guy? Like, I don't think he's gay. And she even goes to Shane and asks him, is he gay? And he's like, definitely not.
Yeah, he says he has the best skate art, and then he looks at her and he's like, well,
for guys.
Yeah, for guys.
Yeah, not for girls. It doesn't work so well with
figure
girls.
that out for,
Yeah. So Amy decides that she's going to prove that he's not gay, and she seduces him in the art room again.
Which was so horrible. I would have not been turned on whatsoever. I would have been laughing. I would have been like, girl, what you want?
She's like,
that was so uncomfortable. It was
right.
It's like, aren't you a lesbian? It's like, yeah, I'm a lesbian. That's pretty much saying yes.
I didn't never labeled myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But she thinks that he's trying to basically do what Karma did to everyone else, just use someone to get closer to them.
Yeah.
By saying you're gay, and then it just kind of
what Karma kind of did to Liam.
Yeah, exactly. She said he's karma-ing karma.
Karma-ing.
Karma-ing karma. That's kind of hard to say. That's good delivery on their part now that I'm having to say it myself.
I wonder what the new hashtag is going to be for this season. Is this probably because you came up with the other one, didn't you?
Which one?
For Amy and Karma.
So I thought that it's Carmi, but everyone says that, so I don't think it was that original or because I was like, did I start this? And then I was like, absolutely not. Not all these people.
Did.
Well, I said it like the first episode we ever did, and then it started being everywhere. I definitely did. It's not because of me. I think it's just like the obvious choice for their for their ship name or whatever it's called.
It could have been I don't know.
Arma.
Yeah. Amra. Exactly.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's a pretty obvious choice.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. So I'd like to take credit for it, but I don't know if I can. But so she's trying to expose Felix for who he really is. And but while she's doing that, Karma, of course, walks in and is like, you try to seduce everyone that's in my life.
Yeah, I could see how that would be a weird thing. Be like, are you serious again?
Yeah. Well, because at that point I thought that it might be someone that Karma's like hooking up with, like secretly. And then in which case that would be really awkward if she catches Amy trying to hook up with him too.
I thought it could be like a brother that popped up somewhere, honestly. I don't know why.
But but we only learned she only had one brother. So I wasn't thinking that. I was still confused. That's why I was just like, oh, he's the new best friend.
Yeah. Well, we end up finding out in the same scene that he's actually moving into Karma's room. It's not her room anymore because her family, after the drug bust, has lost a lot of money and they have to rent out their house.
She broke.
So they're like living in the van in the back. But then his family, they're renting it out to Felix's family, which at the end, when Liam is at Karma's window and he like basically spills his heart out to Karma, and then Felix opens the window and he's like shirtless and he's like, you're gonna have to talk to Karma about it. So Liam probably thinks she's like sleeping with him.
Yeah.
But then we get to his dad. Felix's dad is Principal Turner.
Boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
So Karma's family is renting out her house to Karma's family is renting out their house now to Principal Turner, which is very interesting because he's the reason that they're there in the first place.
And
they're the reason that he's there in the first place.
Exactly. My thing is, where is the mother? Where is Felix's mother?
Well, maybe we just haven't met her yet.
Yeah, she's probably. I think she might be dead.
Maybe he's single.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's why he's so angry and mean and stuff. Is because he's a widow.
Yeah.
And he has this sad story, and then we'll somehow start to like him. I'm hoping. Yeah. At least.
So there's a few things off of everything that we just kind of like laid out there. So first of all, Amy and Karma. So once Amy finds out that it's actually she is living in the van in the back. So it's like, and that's the reason she's not wearing the necklace. It's not because she was just being mean to her. And she was just like embarrassed to tell her about it. And also she knew she could stay with Amy, but it's so weird still that like, where's that line?
Pretty much. And then how can Amy help? Like, that's not
your
house,
she could
Amy.
like stay with Amy.
But yes, that's not your house, Amy. And your mother doesn't want you guys to be friends. Because pretty much at breakfast.
Well, especially if it's like a, sexual relationship of sorts.
Yeah, well, I think Amy would just like be lying in bed with Karma, just up all night and be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, kind of got a glass of that too.
Well, I think that Karma's going to end up staying with her. But we'll talk about that in predictions. Okay, so the other thing is Liam and Karma. So now that he's seen Felix shirtless in her room, he doesn't know yet that it's not her room anymore.
Right.
So that's going to be a whole other thing.
His first instinct probably on this episode is when he first sees her, he's going to be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really hope they don't drag that out too long because it's so stupid. All you need to do is ask one question.
All they're going to need to do is like,
and, I'm renting the house out. Like I'm not doing anything. Yeah, but I have a feeling it's going to be like, oh my God, what is she doing with Felix? And Felix dude just like, I'm just sleeping here.
Yeah, so that's like, this is actually my room and Karma's in the van in the back, so.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that he's not that person that's blurting out someone else's business.
It's very nice, yeah.
I do like the fact that, you got to ask her.
Yeah.
And why is that window pane so thin for you to hear people like that? Like, I'm like, can you really hear him through that window pane?
I don't know, but it's really easy access for Liam to get there, though, that's for sure. So anything else on that topic? The only thing left we have to talk about is Theo and Lauren. Mm-hmm. So we see Theo walking in for where the protest was with his little sunglasses.
Am I losing something? Why was he looking so...
He looks different to me.
He looks...
Does he look different?
He was straight out of Compton, I think.
I think it's a light.
Keith Towers straight out of Compton.
That was so good. I was going to say, why does he look like thuggish and all
yeah, because he's straight out of
Compton. Wow, that was a perfect... Yeah, dude. Give me some.
I grew up so fast.
You got so big. I love it.
Yeah, I didn't say this, but Cortez told me that I looked bigger today, so... But he means like in a mature way.
Sophisticated
yeah.
is
Thank
what
you. She's
he
more
meant.
mature. I met her when she was
yeah, whatever.
Now you're sounding
now he's just trying to like cover it up.
No,
anyways,
I really thought Theo was like, I was like, why is he covering himself up? What? Am I missing something?
No, so what I think it is he doesn't go to Hester High, so he has to like get past security. So he's like wearing his sunglasses and being like all incognito. Which I don't know why wearing sunglasses helps you get through security, but
without a student ID.
Yeah, but it does. Maybe he got validated somehow. I don't know.
He is a cop, so he should.
Yeah, maybe he like climbed the fence or something. It's hard to say. But he comes up to Lauren during the protest and says, "Look, I lied to you. I really do have feelings for you. I just had to say that I didn't because my boss was listening," and. You know, that was pretty much it. And she, like, then she gave that whole speech about having to be guarded, and that's why she is on Principal Turner's team.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense, really, why she is, except for wanting to be accepted by, like, the head of the school. Like, it just, you know, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. I'm sure they'll get back together, right?
Yeah.
He can't go anywhere. I love him.
I saw a little glance of when he did apologize and told her the real reason why he lied. She kind of got a little... Aww.
No, she was like, don't do that. Stop doing that. Stop making me feel these feelings.
And then she just snapped right back into it. So I think
back into
they get it back together.
Her Lauren self.
I think they're the couple that everyone wants to see together, like Liam and Karma in the beginning.
Yeah. It's true, but I don't really know how old, you know, he is. Like, there's still, like, a legality thing in the United States. You know, like, there's, like, these laws. If you're 16 and there's a cop that's 22, like, it's kind of weird.
Is he 22?
I don't know. I'm just assuming. I'm assuming he's over 21, and that's the... I mean, I don't know why, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
I guess it depends on how old is...
The other topic they didn't really give us much of this episode is that Lauren revealing that she is intersex. Mm-hmm. They talk about it a little bit, just like for how she got voted. That's how she got her popularity to be voted student.
But it doesn't hold up if people don't really like her, which they don't.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that we'll get more into that educational lies and I'm sure we will. I mean, this is only the first episode. I like forgot that they're only 30 minutes. So when it was over, I was like, wait, hold on.
It's so much drama.
We want more. We want more. Mm-hmm. It's so packed. So much happens in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So we got a tweet here from
Fake Aunt Feels.
Fake Aunt Feels. Mm-hmm. It says, "What was your favorite scene during this Faking It episode?"
And mine would be that horribly funny scene with Amy trying to seduce Felix.
Yeah.
That was really like horrible. And she almost had the tongue out too. She said, Get it, Amy. Wow. Get you some.
What was your favorite, Sam?
I think that my favorite would be at the end when Liam confesses his love and then Felix like opens the blinds and is just not who he's expecting.
Yeah. That's a really good one too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what my favorite one is. I think it was really funny when Shane was leading the protest and then he just like completely takes off all of his clothes and everyone's like, what? He's like, what are you guys looking at?
Well, he expects everyone else to do the same, and he was like, what?
And everyone else was just completely clothed. I think
that's like a nightmare, you know. Really is.
Can you imagine?
If it's really cold, yeah.
he voluntarily did that.
But you think everyone else is going to do it with you, and then they don't, and then you're naked in front of your entire school
But
alone?
he still did not care. Like, the thing what got me is that he didn't even, like, sometimes people would just quickly, he was just like, what? Like, hello?
Seriously, guys?
Strip protest.
You guys missed the point of this whole thing, I think. I really liked that scene, and I also really liked the scene with Amy and her mom in the kitchen, just because they've come so far, in even just a very short amount of time. Is pretty much as soon as Amy opened up to her about everything, and obviously her mom knows that she slept with Liam, and so they've just gotten so close when they used to butt heads so much. So I really liked that scene just because you can see like how far they've come.
Yeah, and I think I was wondering about that last season. Like I was wondering like how can she like Lauren so much and doesn't even.
I love her little mom's southern accent. Her little southern self makes me happy. All right, so let's get into some predictions.
Is it you like her little southern accent because you're southern?
Her little southern accent, bless her heart.
Predictions. Bless her little heart.
Let's go through predictions by the different people we have. Shall we?
Sure.
So what do you guys think about Karma and Liam? What is going to happen there? Do you think he's going to get with Zeta? Do you think he's going to keep trying to pursue Karma? Do you think that he's going to be really upset about Felix and like not mature enough to just ask her straight up what's happening?
Probably. I think that's probably what's going to happen.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're 16 years old. You know what I mean? You can't expect them to be really level-headed about like, you know, he just saw a shirtless boy in his girlfriend's room. Like, I think that he might be really upset about that.
I just think she was in the shower, you know?
Yeah.
I actually think that he's not going to get the opportunity to talk to Karma about it.
The whole season? Ever?
No. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure next episode they're going to talk about it. But by the time he gets to Karma, he's going to probably talk to Zeta. And Zeta is going to
slide right
in. Good. Yeah.
That's a good prediction.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to end, and it probably will drag with him not telling me.
It's probably going to be a similar situation to what happened with him and Amy, because he was so mad, blah, 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 went and hooked up with Amy, and now that's where he's gotten him. So he might be so mad, blah, blah, go hook up with Zeta.
Yeah, and I could see Karma being, like, embarrassed because Liam is so rich, and, like, she's basically living in a trailer.
Oh, yeah,
and just not telling him. I mean, again, they're young, they're insecure, like...
Yeah. For sure.
That's what I think is probably going to happen.
Yeah, those are both really good predictions. What do we think about... So they've kind of, like, hinted at, like, Amy... I was just, like, agreeing with you guys. And I agree with him being really mad and going and maybe hooking with Zeta or, like, getting with... Yeah. So they've hinted in the previews that Amy and Felix might be a thing. But then they also hinted that Reagan's going to be mad at her. And then they also hinted that she's still in love with Karma. So it's like... She has 3 options. There's lots of stuff happening.
I don't know what's going on with Amy.
You're just confused.
I'm dumbfounded when it comes to Amy.
She's confused. She is the most confused teenager in the world. Poor girl.
Yeah, she's confused. So we're confused. We don't know what's going to happen.
I wonder what will end up, though. Like, what's going to be the final... What does she like?
Yeah.
And I really think it's going to be boys.
Katie Stevens just did an interview, and she was talking about, you know, they asked her, what do you think will will Karma ever end up with Amy? And she's like, you know what, she's like, to me personally, as Katie Stevens and not as Karma, she's like, I don't think Karma is a lesbian. But if she ever is with Amy, it could be because everyone else has let her down, and that's her best friend. And she was like, I don't think Karma's a lesbian, but I do know that she loves Amy. Mm-hmm. So it's like...
It's the most heartbreaking thing about the whole thing in general. I don't know. I feel like, Karma... Well, I feel like Amy is just going to continue to bounce around because she's never going to get any real verification from Karma that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And this new guy, Felix, I love him. He's on Chasing Life, which is one of my favorite shows in ABC Family. I think he's going to be around for a little while. And there's something weird going on in that house for sure with him and his dad.
Yeah. And I'm hoping next episode we'll see Reagan, so we'll get to see more of it, because it's hard to predict on a dynamic that we haven't seen.
I think that's going to be over pretty soon.
You think so?
With Reagan and Amy.
But we're still going to see Reagan, though.
I don't know.
Yeah. You see that? You remember that handshake with her and Karma? In that preview?
Oh, yeah, they're going to do some type of revenge. Maybe it's because Amy gets with Felix, so, like, both of them are like...
I agree with you, because remember we also thought that Zita may be a lesbian.
Yeah.
So I agree that Reagan and
maybe her and Zita?
Not.
Oh, okay. Gosh. Well, I guess you just truly never know with the show what's gonna happen.
Because look how she shook hands with Karma. So Karma might use Reagan to get
to Amy,
get Zita out of the way.
Oh, there you go. To get
then
Zita because of Liam and Zita.
Yeah. But then Amy will be so devastated that Karma is a lesbian and doesn't want to be a lesbian with her.
I think we're just like talking in circles about something we absolutely have no idea about. We're just like, maybe this and this and this, which is one of my favorite things about the show, just because you can just really just say, and you really don't know. So what about Shane and Duke?
I think they're gonna not last.
Well, Duke's definitely gonna find out about Shane. It's just a matter of Shane being the one who revealed him. So it's kind of who outed him. So it's just kind of a matter of when that ball's gonna drop.
I think we're losing the Shane that we all knew that that pick him up and go into the Nets type situation. I really think he's really starting to get.
He wants an exclusive relationship.
Yeah. But Duke is going to start pushing him away, because maybe Duke is pushing Shane away is because Shane is withholding that information that he outed him. So
I don't know. All I know is that Shane has gotten a lot better looking since. Like, I swear he looks so different. He's like just grown into himself. Yeah. It's very sexy.
Yeah. Like Sterling.
Yeah, exactly. Like Sterling.
Who, me?
You whip your hair back and forth.
Yeah. That's a way better way to put it than to just be bigger. So thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. It was the first word that popped in my head.
Don't you have any sisters?
I don't.
I could have guessed that.
He's like, no, I don't. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. And the last but not least, Lauren and Theo. What do you guys think? Back together? Make it or break it?
Most definitely.
Bye, Felicia. Bye, Theo. Bye, Lauren.
No, he looks very good too to me. So I don't know what. I think I might be. It's weird. I'm watching these characters and I'm like, did their faces change? Why are they so sexy? Oh my god! Like
they're 16, Sam.
But they're like 25.
I know.
It's okay.
You're nasty.
That is hilarious.
What can I say?
That is hilarious. Any other predictions while we're on predictions?
I think that the principal is going to be very interesting for a while.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a mystery man to us.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sam, that there's definitely something there with that household. It's weird to me that the principal, who is so basically like hell-bent on
there's an earthquake.
Yeah, there's a little earthquake.
I'm so sorry.
But I'm so sorry. But who is so focused on cracking down at the school is living in the house of the family who was responsible for the drugs being in the school in the first place. So it's interesting. Like, what's that connection there?
And where are her parents? Where is Karma's parents?
Well, no, they're in the trailer or whatever in the back.
I know,
right?
but we didn't see them.
Yeah. They're just probably piled in sandwich meat or juice or whatever. I don't know. Just trying to keep warm.
But if this happened 2 weeks ago, would they be out of jail? Like, weren't they selling weed
to old people? It was to old, like, it really shouldn't have been anything, is what I felt, because I rewatched the last episode before I came tonight and watched the new one, and it was just like, they didn't know they were selling to kids.
Yeah, and it's interesting because now, at the beginning of the show, we Karma's one goal in life is to be popular. And so that's why, basically this whole plan is hatched in the first place to pretend to be gay and then, we'll be popular. And but now that one part in this episode tonight where she's like, not only is my family responsible for everything being so strict now, but now I've been like outed and now my best friend like slept with my boyfriend and like blah, blah, blah. So like everything has just like really crumbled for her. Yeah, backfired for sure. Like karma. She's getting some karma. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, karma is a biatch. Bleep. Beep, beep, beep. All right, so anything else on this episode?
No.
I think that about does it for us until next week. Yeah, okay. Where can we find you guys on social media?
You guys can find me, Sam Davidson, online on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43 and on the internet at SamDavidsonEntertainment.com.
Nice. You can find me on all social media as Cortez G. West. I do not believe in followers. I believe in supporters. So support me because I want to support you.
I support you, Ted. Thank you.
And where can we find Sterling?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Periscope, I guess. I just did it for the first time.
I'm going to download it myself.
At Sterling Cates. And all of us here at AfterBuzz TV, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, iTunes, AfterBuzzTV.com, all of those. And we will be back next week with the second episode of Season 2B. Thanks, guys.
I'm going to look at the comments.
Yeah, we'll talk to you on the YouTube comments and iTunes comments. Okay, bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.